Okay, guys, here we are, Gold Division, as in between games for Honcast. Figured might as well get some attention to this very, very nice division full of a bunch of really good teams, and that's exactly what we're doing. So, bit of an awkward intro, I guess, but whatever.
Well, I mean, it's 1-1 right now, so it's set to be a very exciting series already. And looking at the picks, I'm looking at Solaire Club, and I mean, Bloodhunter, Balfagor, Tempest, Kraken, they are going all in for the early right now. And then on the Hellborn side, you have a more typical get a Swiftblade, get a Magnus, you know, jack of all trades with some strong support. So it'd be interesting to see how this turns out.
Yeah, I mean, this Legion side really in on the team push. Like, if they don't land their ultimates, if they don't get a big Tempest Hole, I'm not sure how much they're going to be able to do. And really, Hellborn can counterfight to some extent with Magnus, NG, and Swiftblade, so yeah, I'm a little iffy on these picks right here, just because I feel like if they don't get a good Tempest Hole off, are they going to have enough follow-up initiation? Are they going to have enough lockdown to be able to actually kill some relatively difficult heroes on the Hellborn side, especially with that Revenant? So we'll see, but so far here, personally, favoring Solaire Club just a little bit. What about you?
I like the Solaire Club lineup a lot more because it's going into that whole like we have a plan, let's execute it, let's go for the win. You know, this is 1-1. They really need to show what they're capable of, and with the Balfagor, I'm curious to see how Jisman's gonna do because in the Cycle 2 replays we always saw him playing the Rally, and now he's playing the Balfagor. So
And as you well know, not a huge fan of Rally, so this is a little bit better for me. But I don't know, I think Balfagor has plenty of potential. It's not that I don't like that pick. I'm just between him and Bloodhunter and really Torturer, who has just the one stun. I'm a little concerned that they're not going to be able to keep these heroes in place for long enough, especially because Swifty's pretty darn fast, and Magmus difficult to lock down. Revenant, of course, with the invis. So we'll see. I do like Balfagor in general, though. Obviously, his push potential is very, very high, and he team fights extremely well, especially as a counter initiator with that HoN Tour. So we'll see him in the middle lane here, it looks like, as we've got a Kraken Suicide, and apparently Torture going to join him in that lane. Obviously, Tempest in the jungle, and solo bot Bloodhunter. So Lance Legion side, a bit transparent here, and shaping up to be pretty strong, though. I'm not really a huge fan of Suicide Kraken in general, but it is still a good hero, and the other option is really Suicide Balfagor or the aggressive dual lane, so I feel like they did make the correct decision here. Do you have any issues with the laning phase from the Legion side? Assuming this is actually going to be it.
A lot of banter coming out right now. So I know the Solaire Club decently well, but I don't know what this is all about. Anyway, so yeah, you said that the Legion lineup is very transparent, and I don't like that, Kraken got a hatchet.
Yeah.
I mean, even if he's 1v1 versus a Revenant, right? A hatchet's not going to help that much.
He's got Splash.
Yeah, just you have Splash to last hit with, and you just need to make sure that you probably have enough mana, or even I would say go for an early bottle so that you can actually stay in lane, because Revenant is going to completely destroy you regardless of that hatchet or not.
Yeah. And now that he's going to have less regen than he really should, is he going to be able to stand up to Revenant, who is a hero that can output a lot of harass damage and just damage in general.
And
so, yep. I mean, Swiftblade's already getting, or not Swiftblade, he's already taking the jump here, as that's a pretty interesting place for him to be.
Splash.
Yeah. I don't know why you do that. So, Kraken going to take a death here. So, Army of Mums on the Solaire Club, who actually plays a lot of Suicide Kraken, if you'll recall. I don't know how many of the Solaire Club's games you've casted with me, but I've seen a fair bit of them, and Army of Mums does play a lot of Kraken and a lot of Suicide Kraken, and plays it decently well. So I'm going to go to pause here, but obviously the first blood going out. Swiftblade is going to rotate now, it looks like, to middle lane, perhaps? Or the Suicide. Okay. So that was just a TMM pub star, let's get first blood and then leave.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed the boots on the Swiftblade, and it's because, like, there's no one bottom right now.
Yeah.
They're saying, I don't want to go bottom because I'm going to lose anyways, but to be honest, Swift doesn't even do that badly versus a Bloodhunter, because
he could,
he could spin on every single wave and get farm. He's never going to get a kill on Bloodhunter, but Bloodhunter also shouldn't get a kill on him until maybe level 6.
And, I mean, worst case scenario, hemorrhage, spin, obviously just run away, assuming that he doesn't get the silence on you first. But, I mean, if he gets both, you could just stand your ground with the auto attack, so...
Yeah, but you have to remember that hemorrhage
Let's
is
get it
superior
on.
magic damage.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
See? Things that I don't remember.
Yeah, it is a powerful skill against Swiftblade. Like, a Bloodhunter is just generally strong versus Swiftblade because the silence is really strong because, you know, Swiftblade doesn't usually go for a Shrunken. So, because he has that spin, but if he's silenced for 8 seconds, which is the duration of Bloodhunter's max silence, he's not going to be able to do much in fights. He's just going to run around and hit people.
So, Hellborn's lane's shaping up here. Swiftblade's not going bot at all. You're right. Alright, he's going to be middle now, and it looks like he's going to try to get a kill on this Balfagor, or the Torturer.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Torturer. They're probably not going to kill Balf. But yeah, okay, there's a Torturer. Lava Surge into the Keg Stun right there. Swifty coming in with a spin. Chain Reactions obviously don't do much of anything, and they're going to dive this. Swifty is going to pay for that, so ends up being a 1-for-1 there, and the Legion side will absolutely take that, especially because the Swiftblade is now getting nothing. And Solaire Club, or not Solaire Club, but Throws, apparently former Catman champions. That's what I'm getting confused, because laser killing on the Hellborn side is stacked up as Solaire Club.
Are you lagging? What's going on?
Oh boy, something just stopped. Everything stopped.
Everything is just standing still.
Is this the server?
I think so.
Connection timed out.
Connection timed out.
Oh, that's fun.
What?
Just did the server just completely fail?
Looks like it. I'm gonna try reconnecting to the
I'm
game.
gonna
Oh,
try.
you're not on the roster for this arrangement. Okay, Noob McNoob has joined the match again. The Tempest player, so let's see if I can connect him. Yes, I'm loading. Okay.
Yep, I'm coming back in. That was interesting.
That was... I'd say we had some technical difficulties.
Big server.
Yeah, anyways. I kind of disagree with what Balfagor did, by the way. He tried to get the kill on the Magnus, right? Instead of going to go on the Swiftblade, because Swiftblade would have died before Torture.
Yes. Well, Swiftblade actually died after Torture, I think.
Yeah, I know, but that's because of the tower attacks and the impalement. But if there had been one more auto attack, for example, on Swift, because Swift stopped spinning before Torture died. He needed one auto attack. Had Balfagor been there to just kill or deal enough damage to the Swiftblade in the meantime, then Torture would never have died.
Yeah.
But then again, hindsight is 20/20, and yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it felt like it wasn't a great decision once Torture was so far away, because, like, yeah, okay, if Torture was next to Swifty and they could land both the stuns and then the spin, and it would be fine. But the fact that he had to go across the entire middle lane to get to Torture, either they should have gone for the greedy kill on Balfagor, which probably wouldn't have happened, but it would have been better and it was a closer kill for Swift, or they should have just, you know, rotated the Swifty down the bottom lane or something like that. Either way, that was a bit of a questionable play, and Allegiance side will definitely take it, because the Swiftblade now, I'm just not sure how effective he's going to be. He's already at 178 GPM, obviously. He did get that kill, so that helps, but in general now, this Bloodhunter is going to crush him, so.
I'm just confused, to be honest. Like, he did get some items now, but it's... I think Bloodhunter should just go hit him. Just go hit him in the face.
And that's what he's doing.
Yeah. Or at least attempting to. Just get your boots, hit him in the face, get him out of your lane, you know? But you gotta get all the last hits. That's also very important.
Right.
But how do you like the Balfagor dual lane with Torture?
Not bad, actually. I mean, this is generally a defensive lane, but what they're going to be able to do is kill this mid tower in maybe a minute and a half.
That's true.
I mean, like, it's between Torture Impalement and the Balfagor minions, it's not going to stand up at all. So.
But, I actually have a question. Like, you saw the banning phase. Was Rhapsody banned?
I don't remember, actually. I did see the banning phase, but I was trying to set stuff up.
Actually,
so Balfagor's getting crushed here. He's going to drop the minions. Also going to have his Regurgitate there. Looks like he'll be able to get away. Nice chain reactions onto Magnus. And of course, Torture picking up that illusion rune, so he will be able to pound some autos in. It's not bad there.
But Magnus is getting quite some farm actually from it.
Yeah. And so Magnus here in this middle lane, actually bottom, completely missed that. I was wondering, like, what the hell's going on? But Tempest.
Why?
I don't know what Swiftblade's
Okay,
doing.
so Swiftblade is wasting a lot of time right now, and Bloodhunter is just going to keep getting levels. Like, if Swiftblade's level 3 when Bloodhunter's level 6, it's just going to be a free kill every single time.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to deal with chat stuff too. Anyway, but yeah, middle lane. So here come the Balfagor minions, and they're just going to die to the tower, which isn't great, but... Yeah, sorry, make the point.
Yeah, Legionnaire was also looking to gank, but the Illusion Rune from Torture spots it out. And
good scouting.
I don't like Legionnaire. Like, had Tempest even decided to go aggressive woods, and they had a very aggressive lineup,
yeah,
Legionnaire wouldn't have gotten anything. I mean, it's still going to be the case, because Tempest is out-farming him quite hard right now. 70 GPM, 80 GPM above him, and I mean, I know Noob McNoob. He's a pretty darn good Tempest. I mean, he knows what he's doing, definitely, and if they decide to go for the early Astrolabe, which I would really suggest in this game, because if they get that, they're able to just group up and train mid.
Yeah.
With the Balfagor minions, with the Impalement, with the minions from Tempest, it's just going to be free kills, and there's not much that the Hellborn can do about it.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's exactly their strategy. I'm sort of with you on the Tempest, obviously. He's going to have a good time against Legionnaire if they do contest jungle. I just don't really like Tempest as an aggressive jungler in general because he's so slow, he's got no escape, and his ability to run away from ganks is basically zero. Like he can throw out a stun or something, but if he gets caught out here in this jungle, he could easily take a death. And really, with some fortunate spins from that Lego with the Tempest Elementals, it's possible that he could even get counter-killed. So, yeah, I get your point. Actually, bottom lane. Yeah, Swiftblade actually gonna just TP away, and he'll be fine.
But the ulti.
Oh,
nice.
Tempest ultimate. Yeah. So 2 ultimates used there, but absolutely worth it. And they will get the kill on Swiftblade very easily. Looks like Noob may actually turn this into a bottom push as Torture has rotated over. Obviously, he has the Impalement, and they've got a Ballista as well, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them take a 2-1 tower in the bottom right now.
Nice rotation, but unfortunate that one of the elementals died.
Yeah.
Like before splitting.
Yeah.
So
need a micro a little bit better.
It's actually going to have an impact.
And elementals will be dead soon, but this tier 1 tower here is getting absolutely crushed. And middle lane actually, there's the eruption going down onto Balfagor as he's basically dead, but they don't really care at this point. They're willing to give up a kill like that to take this tier 1 tower because obviously this is going to give them a nice gold swing. And
the Legion have destroyed a Hellborn tower.
I think they should have rotated Balfagor and bot as well though. Just to make it a hyper push in a way, because he is he's level 5. Okay, had he been level 6, it would have made more sense. But I also don't like the fact that he's skilling his Q over his E. Because the whole point of their strat is to push early. And at level 7, that's when you get the Astrolabe on Tempest. That's when
and this bottom lane, Swiftblade taking another hemorrhage, and he's gonna die again. Here comes Engineer actually looking to counter push this a little bit. And Torture might die here, but Engineer's definitely dead. So yeah, ends up being 2 tower kills. Magnus coming in with the Lava Surge will finish off Torture finally, but I mean Legion know what they're doing with this draft. They don't this is just an absolute all-out push draft. Now, they do have a fair bit of anti-push. Engineer, Revenant, even Magnus, and Legionnaire can stand up to these, especially minion-heavy waves. And Swiftblade with a spin, for that matter, didn't think about that, but
it's very important for them to get the early levels in order to counter-push, because a level 4 Engineer is not going to do anything against them. If a level 4 Engineer gets close, I would even like to see Bloodhunter just ulting him and killing him.
Yeah.
Because there's not much that the Hellborn can do unless they perfectly set it up, but Legionnaire in their draft just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, and we see just the 2 minions here from Balfagor, and it goes back to what you're saying. Why is this ability level 2? When he's level 7, it should be level 4, and he should be spawning, what is that, 5 or whatever at that level? I think, I don't remember. Anyway,
he's in trouble,
Balfagor getting jumped on here. But yeah, avoiding the keg there, now they're going to turn this to Hell on North. Magnus in a lot of trouble, he's going to fall. Looks like Val still might die to the auto attacks from Revenant. Yep, that's going to happen. And Torture here now going to have to run away. So successful defense there from the Hellborn side. But again, mid-tower getting taken down to about a third. And that wasn't even with their full push complement. That was basically just Balfagor and Bloodhunter beating on it for a little bit. So what's going to happen when we get a 5-man push from this Legion side? They're going to kill a tower in, you know, less than 10 seconds easily from full.
one thing I don't like though is the fact that, I mean, Kraken just finished up his sequence and he hasn't even been carrying a TP. Had the Hellborn side decided to go full 5-man, I think they could have gotten more, potentially.
Yeah.
And with Kraken not being able to port, that would have been 4 kills for the Hellborn, because Swiftblade is really strong, even though he did get kind of massacred at bottom.
Yeah. And, you know, to be fair, the other suicide here, this Kraken's at 210 GPM, after getting bloodlusted and with a hatchet. Which is a pretty fantastic GPM, I would say, considering that he didn't really have a great build, in my opinion, and, you know, he did take that bloodlust. He should have been destroyed by Revenant, but here, Eruption gonna go down, and nope, the silence onto Magmus, absolutely beautiful play there. Legionnaire will get cut up, but an ultimate from Tempest, catching everybody. They are all going to drop here. What a beautiful play from Noob McNoob right there. Spinning away, but Swiftblade also gonna die. Legionnaire getting crushed right now, and that's gonna be a genocide.
Like the well played is already coming out from
Yeah.
That was a brilliant Tempest ulti.
I mean, is this...
It also seemed like they lined up for it.
They kind of, I mean, Legionnaire literally ran into it. He literally charged into the Tempest ult. As fast as he possibly could.
Wow. Yeah. And now there's a 7k gold lead. And this tower is going to go down.
This
They
tower's
can't do
dead.
anything to stop it.
This tower's dead. Can they do anything?
The Legion have destroyed a Hellborn tower.
They're going to go top now.
Yeah, why not?
That's all outer towers. That's all outer towers.
Yeah,
and
this is...
I mean, Steam Boots finished on Noob McNoob with the Astrolabe, with the Mana Ring, and he's probably looking to build a Ring of the Teacher now, just to make their pushing that much faster.
Yep. And he did that, get the Astrolabe and the Ring of Sorcery before he even got boots, of course, because he figured, hey, we're going to group up. These are going to be very, very valuable items. Absolutely right about that, of course. And this is just a well-executed strategy from the Legion side, and the Hellborn don't really seem to know what to do about it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that fight from mid was not the greatest. I feel like they should have just let that tower go. I mean, they're going to get pushed back into their base, but they can defend relatively well if it's the tier 2s and the tier 3s, I think. The tier 1s, not so much.
Basically, what I think is all the Legion towers are still up. Why do they bother going to try and defend when they could actually just counter push? They have good push. They have Revenants. That pushes a lane in no time at all, and creeps are usually enough. Legionnaire charging on the Balfagor.
Balfagor looking to get jumped, but he's got a DD rune active. He's going to drop it. Lava Surge onto 2 there. Kraken looking for the ultimate, but the ultimate from NG going to come out and counter it. Army of Mums there dies. He does get his ulti, and there goes the 5-man here on HoN North. Felch on the Legionnaire going to be the first one to die. Torture's running down the Swiftblade. Turk going to solo him down a little bit, and the Lava Surge 4 will stop him, so ends up being a 1-for-1 there, but they didn't get the most valuable hero, and Hemorrhage goes on to Swiftblade. He's just absolutely dead. Silence, of course, means he can't Swift Slashes. It was down anyway. And that ends up being a 2-for-1 in the end, and they didn't kill any of the pushing heroes, so they're just going to turn this into a tier 1 tower. And it should be pretty easy.
Yeah, it looks interesting though, because
The Legion have destroyed
the
a
Solaire
Hellborn
Club, they made
tower.
mistakes in that fight by not being 5, because had Bloodhunter been there, they would have completely wrecked them.
Right.
And they can afford to make such mistakes at this point.
I mean, they have a 10k gold lead.
Yeah,
12 minutes into the game.
Yeah, they can afford to make such mistakes, and it's actually just unfortunate because the Hellborn did put up a really good fight.
Yeah, and they were doing okay in their lanes. I think a lot of it comes down to
destroyed a
that
Hellborn
strange
tower.
decision with Swiftblade to put him top for the Bloodlust. That was okay, but he should have immediately teleported bottom and contested that Bloodhunter. Instead, he went middle. He died when they were killing Torture, and then he went back to bottom. And by that time, Bloodhunter had a 2-level advantage on him or something like that. Bloodhunter hit 6, Tempest hit 6. He's still level 4, and then that turns another kill on Swifty. And you look at him right now, he's 152 GPM. He's 2-6-2. He's just not having an impactful game. The Ghost Marshals are going to help, but he's not tanky. He's 853 health. Against this push, he can't do anything.
I gotta say, like, it just looks like the Hellborn side didn't draft to counter the Legion side. And, I mean, especially with a pushing strat, you're going to need to counter it in some way, because I mean, this is the one time I'd say like an Aluna would be a nice pickup, or a Master of Arms because of that counter push. Yeah. And look at the Kongor just being surrounded by minions.
He's going to be stomping a lot, which is doing a fair bit of damage, so as you can see it off by right there. But obviously the extra damage from minions, very, very helpful. And at 14 minutes into this game, they're doing Kongor, and they should have it before the CC vote, which I assume is going to be coming through momentarily. I mean, I don't want to be preemptive with that by any means. It's possible that Throw of Throws and this Hellborn team is going to try to stick this out. I mean, they haven't taken any base towers yet. And like I said, they do have a good base defense team. But this is now going to be a token. All outer towers are dead. It's an 11k gold lead at 14 minutes into the game. And it looks like the Legion side are once again going to group up middle and just try to break base at this point. And why not?
Why not? What are they going to do to stop it? If Swiftblade goes to spin on creeps, he's going to die.
Yep.
Hemorrhage on him, and then right before he ultis, silence, or even just a Kraken ulti because he's not going to move away from the hemorrhage. Or he might just get deeper into the base, but steam turret down.
Yeah.
The Hellborn have destroyed a Legion
And the
tower.
ports are late here. They were taking top tower, which is nice, but this is going to cost them the glyph of fortification and probably a tower. So Legionnaire charging in there, but silence onto him, and now he's not going to be able to do too much. Obviously, all Legion ultimates are available, so if the Hellborn try to initiate, I would assume the counter initiation is going to be very swift. Rev Ward dropped under the tower. That wasn't a great decision. Towers give true sight, people.
Yep.
But there go the minions once again. Glacial Blasts onto Legionnaire. And he's actually going to eat these minions, so again, his counter push not bad, and he's pretty tanky with that helm, but here comes a Torture Impalement, and that's going to be a tower kill. Chain reactions there. But 3-man Lava Surge, actually, and the Keg Stun also hitting them, but there's the Release of Kraken on the counter, and the Hell of North coming in. Hellborn side are just absolutely melting here. Buyback immediately from Legionnaire. Swiftblade coming in with Swift Slash. They will pick off Tempest before he's able to get an ultimate off, but Magnus in the background is falling quickly. Bloodhunter chasing him down, that's going to be the kill. He's already a champion of North. He's getting slowed down a little bit now by Revenant, but it looks like he'll be able to run away just fine. Kraken in the background is trying to get this counter kill onto Rev. I don't think he's going to get it. Nope. Army of Mums, they're a little bit greedy, but diving tier 4 towers here at 16 minutes in. When you're level 9, yeah, that's going to eat a lot of damage. So they do kill the tier 3 tower here, but they don't take racks, and they're going to be forced to back up. That was a really good counter pick on New Big Noom and this Tempest, who actually bought back. And that was not a great decision.
Yeah. I guess he felt, oh, look, I need to get my ulti off, so I'm going to buy back and try to get there as soon as possible. But, I mean, at this point, he doesn't even, like, buying back to keep the momentum up, sure. But why?
Yeah.
What if this game turns into a late game? I mean, then what are you going to do? You only have one buyback on Tempest, and
Right.
that ulti is, you know, incredibly important.
And more importantly, his is the only super long ulti cooldown. I mean, they're going to have Kraken and Balf ultis up again in 40 seconds. So they can just push. Like, there's no reason for him to buy back there. It's just, okay, you're dead, take the death. Our ultimates will come back off of cooldown in a second. We took the tier 3 tower. We even took a bunch of hero kills. We forced a buyback out on the Legionnaire. And we can wait for you. You don't need to be here because, you know, we're not going to take that Rax anyway. They have enough of a defense. And, I don't know, buyback there. Wasted gold really doesn't get too much out of it. And that's not going to be available later on. So.
And I'm seeing a very limited impact from this Revenant, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure he's doing a lot of damage, but... I mean, you always say that you don't like the Revenant pick. You find it overrated, right?
Not always, but it's
Not
a
always.
little bit overrated. Yeah, I think the fact that we're seeing it all the time here. Actually, Lego going to pour it out as he takes the hemorrhage, but good counter to the Blood Hunter is a teleport. So he will be just fine. And yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Revenant. I do think he's picked a little bit too much because he's squishy and he's countered so heavy by Dust, and he doesn't have
And
stun.
Bloodhunter, for that matter. Because
Yeah,
Bloodhunter
he is
can
countered
just-
very heavily by Bloodhunter, of course, with the Blood Sense and the Silence, obviously. Revenant
Yep.
hates Silence.
And honestly, why is he getting a Hellflower? Why not a tablet or an Astrolabe?
I go for a
Something that
Light
will help
Brand.
the team. Light Brand to counter push with?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would work. But
I think it would be
really don't
better
think
than the
Hellflower
Hellflower.
does anything.
Yeah, and so you see the counter push there actually because of the immortification. So it does kill the creeps relatively quickly, but they have so many of them and the impalement. Here's Silence going on to Engineer, and now the racks are dying. And what is Hellborn doing about this? Magnus off to the side, channeling up the eruption. He's got a portal key. He's going to come in, but really not doing very much. Counter initiation there from Kraken. Release the Kraken right onto Revenant, but a Tempest ultimate hitting 3. They will be able to get Swift Slashes off. Laser killing going to die off the bat. And there goes Felch as well as Revenant. So Looks like Swiftblade off the side here. Gonna be able to get away. That's gonna be mid-Rax. And again, it's the ultimates and the push. So they try to counter push, and the Hellborn team there took the initiation.
Destroyed.
Yeah.
I guess they had to do that. Like, they can't really counter-initiate because of this Tempest ultimate. But then again, the Legion side's counter-initiation with the HoN Tour is ridiculous, so I don't know.
Yeah, although Legionnaire is doing more than I thought he would, I would have still liked to see more counter push. Had it been as simple as putting a dual mid or letting Revenant truly free farm, because in that way they would just have some more spells early on. Like, he is doing a great job standing in the front, being a frontliner, but other than that, I mean, he has such limited utility. And when there's the Astrolabe on the Tempest, not a lot of people are going to get low enough before he dies to get his ulti off.
Right. I don't know. It's hard to come up with positives for this Hellborn side. Like, again, the gold lead just keeps growing for this Legion team, and the thing that they should be suffering in is levels, because they're always grouped up together, and yet they've got a 10k experience lead, mostly because they're up 19-8 in hero kills. But it's so hard to deal with these heavy push lineups, and usually the strategy is you counter push somewhere else, you try to farm in different places so you can get those levels up, because they will get, they will pay for it. But when you have pushed this heavy, you have to group, because you can't let them take, racks in a tower at 20 minutes into the game. But that's exactly what's happened, because this Legion side strategy was so effective. So it's difficult, and like, I don't have many answers for it. I don't know if you have. What do you do against this strat? I always suffer against it personally. So,
well, one way to do it is to have your really important solo laner who needs farm, that when they all start grouping up, he's always counter pushing a lane.
Right.
And basically the rest of the 4 heroes have to be set up in such a way that they can defend. They can delay for a while so that your solo guy can actually push, because we've seen it countless times with Silhouette, with like even Revenant or Magebane, those heroes that just pop in and out of lanes to just completely demolish a tower really quickly.
Right.
And if you have 4 strong heroes next to that who can just, delay. That's all they need to do. Delay it long enough so that every single tower that they lose, they get one in return.
Yeah.
Only the pushing side would be using 5 heroes, and the defending side would be using 4.
Right.
That's one way that I would be thinking of.
That definitely makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to execute, so. Every so often I'll come against one of these lineups in TMM and just be like, well, we tried, I guess.
we tried, but
at some point it does come out of the picks too. I think I don't know how soon they saw this. We did cover. I did see a bit of the drafting phase, but I was trying to set this whole thing up, so wasn't really paying too much attention to it. But when you see the Balfagor, the Tempest, the Torture, like that sort of thing, you probably do want to go a little bit more heavy into anti-push or heavy into gank or something like that to try to pick these heroes off during the laning phase. The other thing I was going to say is, as before we have a really good fight here in the bottom lane, it felt like Hellborn really had a couple of openings to take good fights, and they defended in the wrong places, like in that tier 1 mid. Instead of falling back, okay, they're going to take our tier 1s, we just have to accept that. But we can defend much better when it comes to the tier 2s and the tier 3s, but since they took bad fights at the tier 1s, they were then even further down, and they couldn't win team fights at the tier 3, or tier 2s and then the tier 3s, so.
Yeah.
It's it's really careful about how you want to pick your spots, because a couple of misplays like they made, and all of a sudden you're down this far, and it's nearly impossible to come back. But they're slow pushing this bot tier 3. They do have the token expired, so obviously that's not going to be helpful.
I'd like to see some initiation going on the engineer, because he is playing too far up. If Kraken gets a charge off back down, towards the cliff, it's very possible that he'll fall if the Silence of Blood Hunter is used plus Hemorrhage. And that ulti is not that important in the team fights, and
If they can
how
lock
they're
down the
gonna break
energy.
base.
It's
They
not.
should-
Oh, nope, it'll be counter initiation here on to Swiftblade. He's going to take a bunch of stuns. Here comes the eruption from Magnus. Will actually beat onto a lot of heroes, but there goes the barrier idol, eating a ton of it. Legionnaire over here will fall. They do finally kill Kraken, but Tempest ultimate once again catching 4 heroes. Easy cleanup. And this Tempest is doing work.
I told you, noob McNoob on the Tempest. He knows what he's
And
doing.
he's calling the offensive GGs here. And he
The
should.
Legion have destroyed
Oh,
a
man.
I mean, he
Hellborn
deserves
tower.
that. He earned it. That's his what, second 4-man haul and a 5-man haul,
Yeah.
and now he's spamming Hellborn have been completely wiped out. Wow. That's
Oh
just,
man, this guy.
Yeah, this
Although
guy.
he did make a big ulti, come on.
that's a little.
Come
That's
on,
a
man.
little far. Little far.
It's a tournament. You kind of want to be formal about
Yeah.
it, you know?
It's good to have fun. That's always nice. But
Let's get it on.
I don't know, man.
Oh, there, ready. Let's go. They don't even ask.
Yeah,
but
no ours.
yeah, I think they're past that point anyways.
Doesn't
with,
really matter.
what you're-
Hellborn
Just-
barracks
I mean,
the
have
entire
been
Hellborn
destroyed.
side is dead. What are they gonna
Barracks
do?
have been destroyed.
Yeah.
He
Amazing
wasn't
ulti
already.
though, really.
Yeah, it really
And then
was.
plus the Balfagor.
Yep.
All those Hell on New Earth minions, they just explode together on top of each other. It's absolutely insane how much damage that does. Like you always see like that typical combo, Balfagor Tempest, you know, it's gonna all blow up in their face. And that's what happened.
Yep.
There's nothing much more to it. So,
And it would have been a 5-man hole too if they hadn't killed who was it, Swiftblade right off the bat. So Yeah.
Legionnaire.
I think Swiftblade died.
ended up being in it. Because
he?
he died. He bought back,
oh,
I think. Yeah, he did. So
buy back.
Swiftblade bought back and then went into the Tempest ulti, and Legionnaire was dying off to the side from the torture.
So we see a vote to pause here, and they're just gonna call a CC, and that's probably fair. I mean, this is gonna be Mega Cringe in a second, and yeah, all right.
Legion
So that'll do it for this
wins.
game and this series. Actually, Solaire Club, I think, taking it 2-1, if I'm
Yep.
not crazy.
You're not.
Yeah, it says in Diamond, it said 1-0, I think, but I think I might have been reading the wrong thing. See, it's
I'd
not
say
even
that
Throw
was a-
Throws. I keep saying Throw Throws, but it's Catman Champions. I thought they had renamed their team or something like that. Well, I'm a bad
It's
person.
Catman Champions still.
I knew it was Catman Champions. I thought they had renamed their team, but I was reading the bracket wrong because I don't really know what I'm doing. Anyway, this game is going to be over, and that'll do it for that series. So, Shuriken, thanks for joining us. Final thoughts on that game?
It comes down to the draft. Like,
Yeah.
I think the Tempest and Balfagor were picked in the first stage of picking. So at that point, you realize something's off. You want to do something to be able to counter that, and they didn't, and that's what happens.
Pretty
They
much.
got they got crushed by the death ball that is Tempest Balfagor. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, good game in the end. Decent, well, maybe decent game. I don't know about good. It was,
yeah.
But it was stomp.
wa-
That's okay.
It was fun to watch.
It was.
A
It
lot
was
of kills.
certainly fun to watch. Lots of kills, lots of action, and those Tempest holes, man. Pretty great.
Yeah.
So, that'll do it for this.